that I could actually work from here this morning and then again spend the hour with you. Well, I've been in real estate since 2014, and I've been actually mentor to many of the agents that are sitting here with you. So if you are brand new, congratulations, because you are really part of a great office with some experienced, strong leaders. I need to be behind the camera. That truly believes that there's enough business for everyone to succeed. So congratulations. And Chad, your team leader, talks very often about going back to the basics. And whenever I was sitting in a business meetings just like you, I said, oh gosh, that's so boring. Why are we going over the MREA again? I read it all. Just really depends what kind of a lens you use to look at the foundation and the models that the MREA has in place. I had the opportunity to be in touch with some very successful real estate agents, from Joe Rothschild to some of the others across the country. And I realized that they have one thing in common. They all go back to basics. So what I would like to do is to go over the 9 ways the millionaire real estate agent thinks and give you a different perspective around each point. So we have 2 that are foundational, which, by the way, you can find this in the MREA, page 63 to 83, I believe. And the first one says, think powered by a big why. Whenever you join Keller Williams, and maybe it's your first day, they ask you, what is your big why? What is your big why? Well, maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't have a clarity on what your big why is. Or maybe your big why has recently changed. Because maybe you had a baby, maybe you had a grandbaby, maybe you just recovered from a long-term sickness, or maybe your husband just lost job. If you don't have a clarity on what your big why is, I just want to make sure that you guys know that that is okay. I want you to ask a different question to yourself every morning. What motivates you? What is the one thing that you think of when you open your eyes in the morning and why you get up and show up to this office? What is it that drives you to make that phone call to that for sale by owner that you really don't want to make? And write it down. And over time, you're going to gain a clarity on what the big why truly is. So write down your sources of motivation if you don't have a clarity. The second one, which is really big, think big goals and big models. Easier said than done, right? Big goals require big habits. And then the big habits are going to drive big models. Now, in the same time, small goals will facilitate small habits. Many times as a real estate agent, you go through BOLT and you hear from your BOLT coach, oh, I am an expansion in 36 market center. And maybe you sit next to Pinky that makes over $2 million a year. And it's very inspirational, right? And yet they all started just like you. And many times you think to yourself, this year I am making $500,000. Yes, this is it. This is my year, my New Year's resolution. And yet your habits are simply not there. If you want to really have a big goals, the big habits really need to be big, meaning you wake up in the morning, you are really committed to the lead gen. You are really committed to hitting your appointments and do whatever it takes. So I want you to ask yourself a question and write it down. If I have a big goal, do I have a big habits? Do I have big habits? Adopt big goals, big models, and then start building the big habits. The big habits will automatically support your big goal. All right, number 3, think possibilities. I want you to ask yourself a question. Do you really think, meaning do you really, from the bottom of your heart, think then you can become a high achieving real estate agent? Do you really? Or maybe you have a child and your child is very talented at basketball. Do you really think that they believe that they can be an NBA player? Or maybe you're a fitness fanatic like Mona knows homes, right? Do you really think that you can be the best version of yourself and really lose 50 pounds and win pageants? Do you really believe in yourself? Super important. You know, when we are presented with a challenge, do you first think of the things that you could, do you first think that you could fail? Or do you automatically think, what do I need to do to succeed? If you want it, what must happen for me to get it? Right? And then think action. I'm gonna start with a little bit of a personal story, if you don't mind, that I did not even plan on sharing. Anybody over here has kids or grandkids? Yes? Okay. Do you tell your kids or grandkids to be the best version of themselves? Have you ever experienced your child or grandchild to experience some kind of a fear? Maybe it's from school, maybe it's from match, maybe it's from wherever. Yes? What do you tell them? Do you encourage them? You do, right? Because you believe that anything is possible. Well, see, a month ago, I have a 5-year-old. She had her first swim meet. I think she's pretty talented. She had her first swim meet and she was competing with 10 and under, right? She was the youngest one there. Immediately, everyone noticed. And it wasn't a month ago, I'm lying, it was in February. And I wasn't there because I was at a family reunion. So my husband and my brother were in attendance. And I FaceTime her and I said, baby, you got this. You just have to believe in yourself, right? And then I see a video of her standing on that big, wherever diving board. She's so tiny. She's doing her streamline and they say, take mark, go. And all of the kids jumped and my daughter remained standing on the diving board and started screaming, meaning, "Ah!" As a parent on that FaceTime, my heart sank. My heart sank seeing my daughter fail, seeing her being disappointed because the fear overcame, her abilities to go ahead and jump. And so as I return, right, we did a little bit of a real estate mommy coaching. You got this, baby. And I coach her that anything is possible. So this weekend we had a match again. She started crying as soon as we opened the door. I said, here we are all over again. Oh my goodness, maybe swimming is not for her. And yet I know she's a good swimmer. So I get on my knees, right, in the eye level. And I said, baby, you just have to believe in yourself. And when you are on that diving board, and I know everybody's bigger than you and you are scared, you just have to think to yourself, I am unstoppable. And I want you to tell yourself, I am unstoppable. Her turn became, she was a heat 34 because she didn't have a time at the end, right? All of the big kids are next to her and they say, take mark. And everybody jumped and she did jump too. And she ended up in the first place against 7 and 8-year-olds. And I am not sharing this to brag about my kid by no means. But as a parent, as much as you believe in your kids that they are unstoppable, there are people around you that believe in you. Because you quit your primary career to become a real estate agent. Or maybe you just had your grandbabies and you want to spend more time with them and establish your business in a different level, but that it can run without you. Wherever that is for you, I want to make sure that you guys remember who are the people that believe in you to succeed at a high level. Number 3, think possibilities. So again, do you really think it is possible to become a truly high achieving real estate agent? Number 4, think action. At that point, you will begin to believe anything is possible and you need to start form plans. That's why Keller Williams has models and plans in place. And it starts as simple as the GPS, right? Your annual goals. No action leads to nowhere. Number 5, think without fear. Whew. Setbacks happen, would you agree? Yes? Anyone over here maybe didn't have a strong first quarter? Yes? That's okay. That's okay. Setbacks are also learning opportunities. Don't let the fear of failure freeze you into inaction, because that's exactly what we call the roller coaster agents do. All right, number 6, think progress. Now, it doesn't matter if you're currently earning $300,000, so this is your day one. Progress is about quantity and repetition. Success is in the numbers. Millionaire agents think progress all the time. And guess what? Your mistakes are progress too. So every single listing appointment you go on and you don't get, that's okay, because that is a progress too. All right, number 7, think competitively and strategically. Playing to win is not a bad thing. You know, a lot of the low achievers think, can we do that? A lot of the high achievers say, why? Did somebody say we couldn't? Which one are you? Which one are you? Number 8, think standards. If you want to be really successful, you have to embrace standards. There's a great book, if you haven't read, that I highly recommend. It's by Mo Anderson. Anybody knows over here who Mo Anderson is? It's called The 7 Pillars of a Joy-Filled Life. When I first read it 5 years ago, it was a huge inspirational, because it's this powerful story of a lady that came from no money, living in the middle of, I believe, Colorado. Thank you, Oklahoma, and has built a huge business. Now, maybe you currently are in a position of hiring your first admin, right? Again, successful agents have to embrace standards. Hiring the right people is crucial. If you make a good hire, they can bring you sometimes from 20 to 80 million. Now, the last one is think service. What is your value proposition? Do you know? Because as I am having a lot of conversations with real estate agents, some of them don't really know what their value proposition is. So when you go on that listing appointment, why, as the seller, should hire you or you or you? Do you know why? You guys are in the office surrounded by very successful real estate agents that have been in the business for 10 plus years. Go visit with them and ask them, what is your value proposition? And learn from them, because you guys have a very unique culture of sharing.